You're listening to the Pathway Podcast, helping you find your path to fitness success with your hosts, Rex Andrews and Jonathan Canales.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Pathway Podcast. I'm Rex.
And I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan, man, discipline, I love it. Everybody's favorite thing, right?
Yeah, people hate it. Yeah. It's like one of those things where like, oh, I need more discipline. It sounds like something my dad would have told me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, gosh.
So you're not disciplined. That's your problem. That's why you're not where you want to be.
We're going to put you in sports so you learn how to be disciplined.
Yeah. Discipline's tough, man. But what's really cool about it is that it's like when you have discipline, you're taking care of future you. You're putting future you ahead of you right now, right? I used to be really bad with my finances.
Yeah.
I like spending money. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
Not
it's
really
easy
good.
to do.
Yeah, not really good at saving it. But when, we got my family and stuff now, right? And like the business and stuff. So you have to start learning how to be like more responsible with money. And when you do that, it takes so much pressure off of like, I used to be so worried about like month to month, like being able to pay my bills and stuff. All that stuff way easier now just because of a little bit of discipline and just like, look, it'd be fun to spend money whenever you want to, but just having a little bit of discipline, man, makes life so much easier.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing with discipline is like a little bit goes such a long way.
Yeah.
Like if you can just start the train, start the momentum, keep going, then it becomes easier and easier, or you just get better at it.
Definitely. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Like, we were comparing it to a muscle, right? And we were kind of like working through this because it is something that like the more experience you get at being disciplined, the more that you practice with it, the better it gets, right? For some reason, people think I'm disciplined. Like, I don't think I am. I think like because I catch my shortcomings, right? And we're always our own worst critic. But, when I'm in on something, when I've decided I have a goal, it's really easy for me to like laser focus and be like, this is it. Like everything else has to line up with this. And when you're committed to something, when you're dedicated to it, it's way easier to be disciplined because you find more opportunities of like how to make it work versus like excuses why it can't work, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think there's a lot of times in my life where I've really wanted to do something, whether it's, lose weight or whether it's, trying to get certain grades in school or a certain job, doing things there where it's like, yeah, I want to do this. And maybe you start a little bit, but then when like it gets hard or you fail a couple of times, you start telling yourself, man, I can't do this. Like, this is just too much work. I'm never going to be able to get where I want to go. So like, why even try? And so you don't have the discipline, you don't have the commitment, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a big difference to like actually flexing the discipline muscle when you're 100% committed to something versus just like, I kind of want to do this and I can start, but when it gets really hard, I might be out. There might be other things I need to focus on, or I might have reasons why I can't.
Yeah, like if you're waiting to be motivated, right? Motivation is like such like a fast burning fuel. You're like,
Yes.
oh man, I got to go work out. I'm pumped up. And then you're like, I'm going to be all in. I'm going to get amazing results. And then like a couple weeks later, somebody's like, hey, what happened? You're like, oh yeah, like,
I can completely relate to that. I can remember so many times, like in college, where I was like trying to convince myself to do something. Well, I need to spend an hour on YouTube watching motivational videos to get in the right mindset to be able to like actually do this. When a lot of the times, like when you're committed to something, when you're all in on it, and you know it's the thing that you have to do, you don't need the motivation. You just take action and you're like, oh, I got started. Oh, this actually isn't as hard as I thought it was. Like, I can keep going. I can do this.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, well, what else can I do? Because I just did that and I didn't think I could.
Yeah. That's your boy, Tony Robbins right there, right? Everybody thinks like, if you don't know much about Tony Robbins, you're like, oh, he's a motivational guy, right? He gets people like pumped up and like, yes, but he gets people results, right?
Yes.
He gets people results because he tells you to take massive action. Like everything that's in your way of getting where you want to go. Like we have barriers, right? There's things keeping you from where you want to be, and you got to break through that. So how do you break through? Motivation ain't it, right? Like poking at it, dabbling in it ain't it. The way that you break through is by consistently taking massive action. If you think you're taking enough action, take more action, do more, right? And so that's where when like we talk about being dedicated, right? Being committed. If you want to break through something, what's awesome, a really practical way for you to like work that discipline muscle and make real changes to your habits and routines that are going to help you be more successful is by committing to like a timeline, right? All right. In these days, identify the thing that's in your way, right? In this time, I'm all in. I'm going to do everything right and make yourself 100%, not 98% committed to making that happen, right? And yeah, that doesn't mean you're going to be perfect, but it does mean you have to focus on progress. If you mess up, you don't just go, screwed up again. I always do that. You go, no, how do I do this better next time? How do I fix that? Yeah, I screwed up. I'm going to do this right, and I'm going to keep pushing through. And when you put yourself on a timeline of doing that, man, you're going to make so many breakthroughs, and having the discipline of pushing yourself like that is going to change everything for you.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's like discipline gets this bad rap, right? Because it's like discipline is this thing where I have to do things that I don't really want to do, and then I have to like make myself do those things.
You mean people default to lazy?
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say the comfort. Yeah, I guess is what I would say. They default to comfort.
I'd say lazy.
All right. Well,
like default mode, it's easy to go to like I just want to do nothing, right?
Yeah.
But nothing doesn't get you where you want to go.
Well, but like sometimes it's like, oh, I'm not going to do that thing, so I'm going to do this other thing so I feel productive and this is more comfortable, but like I'm not going to be like lazy and just sit on the couch.
Gotcha. So like distracting yourself with easier things that like feel productive but is busy, not effective.
Yeah, so you can say I'm too busy to do the thing that I really want to do.
Yeah. Well,
so
if I'm going to start working out, I got to watch an hour of motivational videos before I go work out. Then that's 2 hours of my time. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in that, like people are like focusing on like the negative of it. It's like, man, it's this thing, it's work. I really don't want to do that and that sort of thing. But I think when you're really trying to like flex that discipline muscle, like as you're talking about, focusing on the progress and like what are the things that I can do? What are the things that I am doing right? But also with that, you have to really be clear on why you want to break through, why it's so important to you. Like talking about Tony Robbins, like another big thing that he says is like really visualizing yourself at the point after the breakthrough. Like what is your life like? What are you like as a person? And like how much better are you going to feel about yourself if you just commit to a short bit of time, like a month, to like really break through this one thing that's holding you back? And if you do that, then it's like, okay, cool, I have more control over this. Like that thing that I used to think was super hard to do, it's a little bit easier now because I've proved to myself, hey, I can do this. I did it. So now I have a little bit more control over that, and like I've raised my bar. So it's easier for me to have that discipline. And it's not the struggle that's like negative. It's like this thing that I've progressed and broken through and gotten to the other side. And now it's just a part of who I am.
Yeah, and it's not expecting you to have this crazy amount of discipline all the time.
Yes.
It's I got to break through. I got to figure this thing out. I got to learn how to handle this, how to put this in my life so that I can then have a leveled up perspective going forward, right? Like so I'm getting ready for this wrestling match September 11th, a couple weeks away, right?
Oh, we're excited.
And we've been doing this team challenge, right? So luckily I have a awesome group of personal trainers that I can rely on to help me push myself, right? So we've been working out together. We've been, on top of our nutrition, keeping each other accountable, and like everything's been in place. But Taylor, my wife, she's been running. She's a clinic director now. She's busy with work. She's working full time. We're busy at Pathway as always, and we're doing our stuff. And our way of unwinding is Wine Wednesday, baby.
Yeah,
out, Wine Wednesday, get some nice dinner and stuff. So even though I'm in this challenge, even though I'm focused on the goal, Wednesday rolls around. Man, it'd be nice to get some wine, chill out, have good conversation, eat a little pizza. But no, got to flex that muscle, right? So even though it's hard to say, no, my goals are I have a bigger why. I know why I'm saying focus on this. Doesn't mean it's not difficult, right? But it makes it that much easier so that like once we break through this thing, at the end of it, it's like, you know what? Like we made it a whole month without Wine Wednesday. Do we need to do that every week?
Yeah, exactly.
No, probably not, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Replace that with healthier habits and just keep leveling ourselves up. Even though we're at a great spot, Wine Wednesday's not killing us. You find the balance. But if your balance is at a higher level now, amazing. It's just going to help you be in better and better shape, get you to where you want to be at the end of the day.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about, is just trying to level up, trying to get to a better spot. And like, honestly, it's just really fun to try to like have that discipline and like challenge yourself and say like, okay, I'm going to do this. And yeah, I might fail a couple of times along the way, but you're so committed that you get back up and you keep going. And here's the thing. Here's the secret sauce to discipline, I think.
I think this is like the third episode in a row we've had secret sauce.
Yeah, there's a lot of different spices
We're
in the
like
secret sauce.
McDonald's, baby. We got the secret sauce.
I don't know if that's the secret sauce that I want. Maybe Rex is a different secret sauce. I am not promoting the McDonald's secret sauce. But
I didn't say we were McDonald's.
Like McDonald's.
Yeah, it's a simile. Come on, guys.
All right, whatever. We're getting way too far into this. But
what is the secret sauce, Jonathan? Is it French dressing?
I don't know, dude. I don't even know what my favorite sauce is now. You got me all confused. But what I was trying to say is when you're thinking about what you need to do, whether it's like that next workout the next day or Wine Wednesday, picture yourself in that moment and say like, okay, how's it going to feel if I know that I told myself I'm committed to this wrestling match? I have all these people that I need to be accountable to. And then I fail and I go to Wine Wednesday just because it was going to be comfortable. It was going to make me feel better, be less stressed and that sort of thing. But that next morning when I wake up, I'm going to feel like I let myself down, a bunch of other people down. And like really knowing your commitment, knowing why you're committed to it, and then taking the time to like feel what that feels ahead of time before you're in the moment. Because a lot of the times when we're just in that moment and we're stressed from work and all the busy things, it's easy just to be like, yeah, this won't hurt that bad, and make those like negotiations with yourself instead of saying like, no, this is something I'm committed to. So like any problems that I see where I might not be disciplined, I'm going to think about those in a head and say like, okay, I know I would typically do this, but like right now I'm going all in. So like I really got to make sure that this is going to be something that I know how to navigate and I'm acting as my best self here to get where I want to go so I can break through.
That's it. You got to take care of yourself. Future you, right? It's like The Simpsons. I love that.
Yes, yes.
Homer Simpson, right? Like something happens and they're like, aren't you worried about that? He's like, that's a problem for future Homer.
Yes.
Man, I do not envy that guy.
Yeah. I am not going to worry about that now. It's a problem for future me.
That's right.
But if you keep saying that over and over again, if like your health is something that you're like, I'm kind of been plateauing. I've been around where I'm at for a really long time and like I'm still working out. I'm trying to eat healthy. Well, identify what the thing is that if you really broke through that one aspect of your fitness or your health, you could see a huge difference. And everyone has them, no matter what stage you're at. Everyone has the improvements where if they're like, okay, if I just did this, I could get to the next level. So like, what's yours? What's your thing that you can do to really break through and like flex that discipline muscle?
That's it. And it's a skill. It's a process, right? And if you're not great at being disciplined, guess what? None of us are.
Yes.
Why it's great to have accountability. It's great to have a coach on your side who has the experience of taking people through it and can help you do the same thing. So if you need help, if you want to make sure that it can happen, then you got to find yourself a coach who can maybe help out and get you on the right track to accomplishing your goals and flexing that discipline muscle so you can be the best version of yourself and start being limitless. Guys, that's it for us this time on the Pathway Podcast. If you want to join our community, if you like this kind of talk and you want to be more disciplined and enjoy your life, it is possible. We got a whole community of people who love to do it, and you can jump in at mypathwaytraining.com/group. That's mypathwaytraining.com/group.
Break through to that next level. Join the group. Have some fun while you do it. Make it happen.
That's it. We'll see you guys here next time on the Pathway Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Pathway Podcast.